Hi everyone, Emma here. I am doing a single wrap bracelet. I'm just itching to try this orange metallic leather that I got from Exotica Leather. So I'm having a hard time getting started because I keep going, oh, let me do this one. Oh, let me try this one. And here's another one I'm going to be doing soon too. Anyway, I went ahead and put on one of these beautiful copper hammered beads. They're kind of like a coin bead. There's a bit of a curve to it, so you have to find the right side of the curve. You want it to curve down so that when you attach it to your closure, it kind of hooks. If you had it the other way, it might slide out. It's such a slight variation, it might not matter, but I did that anyway. And I went ahead and put my barrel knot, and I got started with these beautiful beads that I just got recently from my haul. I have some heavy dual duty thread that I got at Walmart. It's not as strong as the upholstery thread. Now this is, let me see if it says, okay, so this is 100% polyester. I thought so. You can kind of see there's a bit of like lint on it. So it's more like fabric than it is the nylon thread. But you know what? It matches this leather, and I tried pulling it apart. It didn't break, so I'm not too concerned. I did treat it with my beeswax. So you just, if you haven't seen any of my tutorials, you just put your thread on it like that and pull it through once or twice, and it puts wax on it. And the wax, there's no harm with the wax. It'll come off after time. But it helps get all the knots out. It helps get all the twists out. So normally I use a board and I attach it with another piece of cord, but for today, since it's only one strand, I am gonna just attach it to this clipboard, and I put a bead mat on it just because the clipboard, I was like all excited about this gold clipboard, but you can't see the bracelet. So let's go ahead and just, let's attach it there. And I have my thread. So I'm filming this from the side just because it's easier to see the length and to see what I'm doing. I might have to move it a bit though, so I can get my hand in here. So you thread your bead and you place it over top of your leather, and then go under and put it through the bead again and pull it through. And I'm just using a collapsible needle. These bead holes are huge. I'm surprised. Like, it's good that they're that big. Normally they're super tiny. I may have to move this because I can't move my arms. And I'll just enlarge it for you. And make sure it's in focus. It's hard to see here. Yeah, somewhat in focus. So yeah, I'll show you these beads. The holes are really, I'm surprised how big they are. Oh yeah, you can see there. So let's just tighten this here. And to tighten it, you can just pinch the one side and pull your thread. I'll try and get the next one on a little better than that. So I measured out 3 lengths of my wrist, which my wrist is a 6.5. So I measured out 3 lengths of 7 inches, and I think this is going to be too small to put my barrel knots in. So for this red one, I went ahead and I just measured out 4 feet. I usually don't worry about how much leather I cut. I'd rather have more than less. So many times I've gotten done triple or 4 times wrap bracelet and end up with not enough cord to do the knots. So that is not fun at all. Make sure you don't have any knots. And I'm going to have to move this down. So normally I would attach the bottom as well, but you kind of need some space underneath your bracelet to get your hands in there to do the weaving. But again, like, I could probably do this without attaching it to anything, just by holding it. I've made so many of them, but I would definitely recommend. One of the ways you can use a clipboard is at the top end, put something underneath. I don't know, something soft, maybe a rolled piece of mat, hold it up, and then that gives you the space. I am looking at designing a clipboard that you can use that will have that kind of a setup. But I have so many things on the go. It's like I need to do a list of all these great ideas and tutorials that I'm going to do, and then cross them off as I do them, because I move on to something different. Like, I'll get a delivery, like this leather. I was in the middle of doing bead weaving. I get a order of leather, and that's all I want to do is leather bracelets. So yeah, I have to try and stay focused. It's a good thing I have lots of time to do this stuff. But these are super easy to do. Once you get the hang of where the beads go, or where your thread goes with the bead. And as for the how many beads, I just wrapped my strand of beads around my wrist and took off that amount of beads. Now I will probably not need that full amount of beads. Like, I'll probably take 2 off of it for the leaving space for the knot. And this collapsible needle that I got on AliExpress, you have to be careful. They're super sharp. I should try and maybe file them down a bit. And again, I wouldn't normally use a collapsible needle, but I just didn't. I kind of wanted to do this quick, and I didn't want to spend time threading a needle. How lazy is that? Oh, I'm just so tired of threading beading needles. A few times I've spent like 20 minutes threading a beading needle. You're just like, oh gosh, and then you go and put some beads on, and the darn thread comes out of the needle. You're like, oh, time for a break. So these are pretty, these white. I think they're howlite. I don't even know. I got them from AliExpress with a bunch of others. They're super pretty. They were so cheap. Like this strand here, and there was like double this amount on the one strand for the 6 millimeters. It was like $2. So I'm not too concerned about what type of stone they are. They look pretty, so that's all that matters for me right now. I mean, I have some gorgeous other semi-precious gemstone beads, So you know what, I am going to take my bracelet that I'm wearing and measure. Yeah, so we're almost there. Make sure you, okay, I'm going to have to move this up again. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial for a wrap bracelet. I have to remember to keep moving it up. So I went to yin yoga last night. That was so nice. Man, this teacher is amazing. And the studio is just a small studio above a restaurant. I think it's a restaurant down Main Street in Dartmouth. And this teacher has an English accent, so she's so calming with her accent. And they have like the little tiny twinkle Christmas lights around, and candles burning, and blankets and cushions, and oh, it's so nice. Just awesome. When I got home, I told my wife, yeah, I told the teacher I didn't want to come home if I could come home with her. My wife's like, oh, so you don't want to come home to me? I'm thinking, ooh, I'm not even going to touch that one. This teacher is so good that I have, when I was going all the time before the isolation, when I would be in bed getting, like, trying to go to sleep, and if I couldn't sleep, I would just imagine her voice and I would fall asleep. It was that amazing. So yeah, it's definitely part of it too. Is it's like meditation, because you're doing a lot of deep breathing while you're holding the poses. If you have a chance to do it, I would definitely do it. You know, right now with all the problems we're having with COVID, you may not think that you're dealing with stress or that you're under stress, but it weighs on you, and it starts to come out maybe one day, and then you're fine, and then you know, a week later it comes out again. You're like, what? Why do I feel grumpy, or why am I angry with this person? And it's because you're dealing with all this unimaginable stress. Like, you know, I'm sure most of us have never lived through a pandemic. So that's the thing that blows my mind, is I think this is like going on all over the world. And then I see kids wearing masks and it just totally freaks me out. Like, it's just, in my mind, it's just not right. So we have to take care of each other and ourselves. So I'm trying to decide whether I should go, let's take this off and test it on my wrist. I'm going to bring this out so you can see what I'm doing. So that's probably got it. Yeah, that's got it. Once the knot's in there, and that might give me enough space. So let's finish this off and just tuck that in there. So I'm going to finish this off and weave it. I am going to put it back on so it's not flopping all over the place. And I'll show you how to weave the top part too. So let's actually go in so you can see what I'm doing. And make sure this is in focus. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so we are down here. Now, what I'm going to do is I don't put knots in. The only knot that I have is the knot at the top, and I've already hidden it in the bead. So now I'm going to go through on this side, and I'm going to pull on this thread so that it keeps it taut. See that? Good. Okay. No, you can't see that. Let me see if I can. So I'm holding on to that one because that's attached on this side and I don't want it to get loose. So, and then just pull that tight. So now we're going to go under the cord through the bead, but we're going to come up the top. And what that's going to do is it's going to position our thread so that you can start following this way. Now, if you wanted to, at this point, you could go all the way up. And actually, we have enough thread. I haven't decided. I think it's fine the way it is, so I'm just going to go up a couple of beads. So now we're going to go under and through the bottom of this second bead from the bottom, like that. And hold on to your leather and pull that through. And pull it tight. Go over and through. Actually, you know what? It does kind of look good woven the second time. Let me do one more and see how that looks. I feel like these, the holes are big so that this cord will get loose if I don't go all the way up. You know what I might do? Okay, I'm going to show you how to do a knot and then hide it. So I'm going to come up. So my thread is coming through the back here. So I'm going to come up. I don't want. Let me think here. Yeah, I'm going to come up through here. And I'm going to put my needle through the loop. Let me show you the loop here. So there's the loop. I'm going to put my needle through the loop to create a knot, and I want to bring it close to the, actually let's bring it down under, because we'll hide it underneath and inside. So now we're going to go through, but make sure you come up so you can continue to follow the thread path. And there, now I'll show you. So as you pull that, there's the knot. The knot is right there. So when I pull this, it will tuck into the bead. And pull. And it's gone. So I just straighten that out. So now you can cut that, because that's not going to go anywhere, and we will add a bit of glue and that will secure it again. So cut that. Careful not to cut your other cords. I've done that. It's not friendship. And I'll show you how to put the thread through at the top. So we have this tail here. Make sure this is going to focus. I have to keep checking because the camera being on the side, the image is on the other side. So let's just get your collapsible needle. And this tail might be too short, and I'll show you what I do if it is. Okay, I just have enough space to go through. So the path is going from the front, so let's tuck this in the back. Make sure you can see. So tuck it in the back of the bead, and we're just going to go around this one bead. So it's already secure, so it's not like you have to secure it. You're just basically hiding that thread tail. And I'm going to go one more time in through the bead. And we'll put a dab of glue on this one as well. Let's see if I can show you what I'm doing here. There. And that's it. Pull it off your needle. Cut it. Let's get our GS Hypo. I'm gonna go through here. And down at the bottom. Yeah, you can see how big these holes are. Some of them are even bigger than the others. And that's how fast it is to do a single. I'm trying to put the cap on my GS Hypo. I'm waiting for my new glasses. They can't come soon enough. There, finally. Okay, now for the barrel knot. Let's do it there so I can show you. Okay, I'm just gonna straighten my cords out a bit and double check to make sure that fits. Yep, perfect. So I think I'm just gonna do a double barrel knot. So I just position. That's not gonna work. You know what? I could do this from the front now. Now that it's off the clipboard. Okay. This is still hard, but a little easier. Okay. So I position it up like this. And go 1 and 2 like that. I'm gonna push that there and put that in the tube, and you can push the tube at the same time, and I kind of jiggle my knot as I pull on that, and I jiggle it up close to the beads like that and tighten. Beautiful. That's awesome. And we're going to do that one more time. We'll use the long cord, and you should measure, so you probably would go in sideways, so right about there is good. This one might be a little tighter, and I can show you a trick. You can do it this way, or you can create a smaller area here, which will lengthen this so you have more to twist with, and then you just slide it down. So let's try that. I'll show you that trick. So 1, 2, there. Okay. And pull your tube out, and so you see how small this is? There's no way you could put a button in there, but watch what happens. You just pull it down, hanging on to your... So you can see I did not put enough leather out. That's not like me. But I also didn't use my measuring guidelines. Like, I have it written down how much. I think we can bring this up actually. And just making sure it's tight. And normally I would grab the pliers to tighten that, but I don't want to mar this up because I don't have anything I can cut off. So now we're going to cut these so that they're even. And I just do a cross like this. Like that. And there you go. Simple. Beautiful, beautiful. You can tell I haven't had coffee yet this morning. It's like everything's a struggle. There we go. That is beautiful. Well, the next one I'm going to try is this gorgeous red leather. And I'm going to use these. I've got these gorgeous deep red Picasso finish. And then these kind of transparent, creamy looking ones. Super duos on this red cord. So, and I pulled a button out too. Let me see. This gorgeous button. I love it. So that's the next one I'm doing. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I do have some other tutorials on this that are pretty good. They go into all from the very beginning, from measuring stuff out, from treating your thread, everything. So go ahead and take a look for those, or just do it from this. Thanks again. Take care.